Hi everyone, so today I'm going to be reviewing the new Natasha Denona Transfix concealer. I got two different shades here, a correcting shade and then my actual concealer shade. So this is a new concealer that Natasha Denona just released and I wanted to review it here on my channel. And I'm also going to wear these throughout the day, come back at the end of the day and let you guys know my final thoughts on the concealer. The concealers are $28 each and you get 0.20 fluid ounces. For some reason I thought that the concealers were going to be a little bit bigger. They're kind of small actually. The shade range, I think it's decent. I think it could have been better. In case you guys don't know, Natasha Denona is a cruelty-free brand. So the two different shades that I bought are 6NY and 14NW. The concealers come in this tube. It has a white top and it's like a soft matte. They are plastic and this is how the containers look. So this one right here, the one in the top, is 14NW and then the bottom one right here is 6NW. So online it says that this is an ultra light concealer with one stroke full coverage and exceptional staying power thanks to exclusive micronized pigment. It says that the concealer doesn't crease all day long and is completely transfer proof. VitaLab technology provides the skin with excellent hydration benefits. Hyaluronic acid and collagen soothe and soften the skin for a long lasting moisture and comfort. So I've actually been trying out the concealers myself. I wanted to see if they were really long wearing. I wanted to see what was the best way to apply these concealers, just because I want to give you guys the most information on these concealers. So these are definitely matte concealers. I think if you have dry skin, these might be an issue and I will show you guys here why. I have oily to combination skin, so I'm just gonna go ahead and try them on, and at the end of the day I'll let you guys know like my final thoughts on the concealer. I don't have any makeup on my face right now. I did already moisturize. What I am gonna do though is gonna moisturize really well underneath my eyes, and I'm using the Biossance squalene oil. So this is a face oil that I've been using and I really like it a lot because this is a matte formula to moisturize underneath the eyes really well before applying the concealer. I did notice though that when I did not do this, when I did test out the concealer, my under eyes did look pretty dry. So I want to see if it makes any difference by me applying this oil underneath my eyes. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just swatch these really quickly for you guys. So the shade right here is 6NW. It does have like a warm undertone. It's this is the one that I use to brighten underneath the eyes and use as like my under eye concealer. So this is the best shade that I found that matched my skin tone. So the shade right underneath there is 14NW, which N stands for neutral, W stands for warm. So that is going to be my correcting shade, which I will apply underneath. So when you take out the wand, it is pretty long and it's flat. I really like the applicator because it's long, so you can like apply it sideways if you want. Kind of reminds me of the Fenty Beauty concealer wand, except this one is a little longer. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply the correcting shade first. So the reason I bought two different shades and I bought a correcting shade, which Natasha Denona did release correcting shades as well in this shade range. So correcting shades are supposed to cancel out any of the dark circles that you have underneath the eyes better, and then when you go over with concealer, it's supposed to really cover up any dark circles that you have. So I do have some pretty dark circles underneath my eyes and this coloration right there. I wanted to try out correcting underneath the eyes because I don't usually do that. I did see Natasha Denona demo the concealers. So what she did is she applied the correcting shade down first straight onto the skin, and I am just applying it where I have the dark circles. I'm not bringing it down or anything like that. And because this concealer dries super fast, I'm just gonna blend out one side first with the beauty sponge. And when I tell you guys that this concealer dries super fast, it dries super fast. I noticed that whenever I was testing the concealer and it was drying down so fast, like I couldn't even blend it out. Yeah, so definitely I would say work on one side first and then move on to the other side. This is a medium to full coverage concealer and I feel like this 14NW kind of like matches my own skin tone, but once it starts to dry down, it does get just a little bit darker darker. The formula does feel very, very thin underneath the eyes, but it does dry very fast. And the reason that it dries so fast is to make it long wearing. From me testing out the concealer, it is definitely long wearing. I had swatched the concealer shade on my hand when I received them. I still had the concealers, like the swatches, on my hand the next day. I had showered, I had washed my hands, I had done all of that. These swatches on my hand were still on there the next day. I'm gonna let this shade dry and I'm gonna apply foundation now. And then after applying foundation, I'm gonna apply the other shade. I just want to show you guys the swatches again because so once they dry down, they do get a little bit darker than when you first swatch them. I wouldn't say that they oxidize, it's just when it's drying down, they just become a little darker. Okay guys, so I just finished applying my foundation. I'm gonna go ahead and apply the other shade. This one has a yellow undertone and it's also neutral. I'm gonna go ahead and apply it underneath. And this formula feels so thin, you guys. It is very, very thin. I'm gonna go ahead and blend it out on this side first. So I would also recommend using your fingers because using your fingers will also help blend out the concealer better. There's some areas that it's just not blending out, so it's taking me longer to blend it out, especially right in between my nose. I'm gonna use this concealer brush because I don't know, it just looks a little weird underneath the eyes. For some reason the second shade is not going on good and it's like settling into like fine lines. And okay, so that took a while for me to blend out. I don't know what happened, but when I started using my finger, it looks a little bit better. I do see darkness right here, so I kind of feel like applying more, but I don't know if that's gonna mess it up, but I'm gonna go for it because I don't want to see any darkness underneath my eyes. And I'm just gonna blend it out with my finger. And one more time because I still see darkness right here. Okay, so I definitely think that it is better blending it out with my finger. So I'm going to apply it on the other side and just use my fingers to blend it out. And then go in with my beauty sponge. I do feel like though with the beauty sponge I get more coverage than with my finger because I feel like the finger lifts the concealer. Alright, so that is the best that I'm gonna be able to make the concealer look. I feel like it looks weird right here underneath my eye and it's like accentuating the lines that I have down here because it is a really matte formula. So I'm gonna go ahead and set it. So I'm gonna use the Hourglass Veil powder because it is more of like a hydrating powder. So hopefully this powder will help make it look good. So this side is set with the powder and this is without the powder. As you guys can see, I feel like you can see like my lines right under right there. I think the powder kind of helped a little bit with the darkness that's right there. I wanted to show you guys a really close up of the concealer, especially with the beauty lights. Okay, I'm gonna set the rest of my face now. Alright guys, so I just finished setting up my face and underneath my eyes with the Hourglass powder. I feel like it looks a lot better after I set it with the powder. The only thing is that it does look pretty drying underneath my eyes. Especially if I look really closely underneath my eyes, I can really see like my fine lines and it looks really, really drying and a little cakey and a little too matte for my taste. But we will see after I finish applying my makeup and then how the concealer wears throughout the day. So I'm gonna finish the rest of my makeup and I'll come back at the end of the day and let you guys know my final thoughts on the concealer. It is 4:36 p.m. I'm gonna go to a birthday party. Hey guys, so I am back and it is 12:06 a.m. here. So I've been wearing the concealer for about 8 hours now and I am ready to go to bed. But I wanted to come on here and to show you guys how the concealer looks and what my final thoughts are on the concealer. I can see like a little bit of like the orange from the corrector shade, which I don't really like that. I do feel like the concealer is really, really long wearing, and then underneath my eyes it looks very matte still, so it didn't get oily, but because of that my under eyes look really dry. I don't like that. I don't think I can do matte concealers anymore. It just looks a little bit cakey underneath my eyes and like really dry, and I don't like that. I don't like that. It looks really dry underneath my eyes. Overall, I don't like the new Transfix matte concealer. Even though it says that this has hyaluronic acid and things like that, I don't really feel like it hydrates underneath my eyes. I wouldn't really recommend this concealer if you have really dry skin. Even if you hydrate really well underneath your eyes with beauty oil and stuff like that, it's really hard to blend out. I don't know if maybe I'm using it wrong or not, but I've been testing out the concealer, trying it different ways, and I feel like every time my under eye just looks very dry. Those are my final thoughts on the concealer. Let me know in the comment section below if you would prefer a hydrating or a matte concealer. What type of concealers do you like? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, all of you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!